But I typically play kind of straight, so it kind of goes a little bit.
That way we can hear everything.
Okay.
So I don't really play one. Some days it hooks, some days it's slices. I figure it out on the range and then kind of go with it. Yeah.
And where are you pointed right now in your mind?
Orange flag.
Orange flag?
So yesterday, obviously being Colby in here, he had 0 turn back. This thing just went all arms, right? And so we got it to turn a little back, a little through, and change some setup a little bit.
Got it.
I'd like to go ahead and hit one. I'd like to get it. I think some of the stuff just gets some sort of structure at the top, so flying all over the place.
I mean, you kind of
I like that one.
Yeah, that slight draw.
Yeah.
And you have the makings of a draw. You know,
That's what I thought.
I mean, it looks like a draw pattern. Clubs across the top a little bit. Face might be, slightly on the shut side of things.
Yeah.
Keep the club behind you. Get your handle forward. Push it out a little bit to the right. And if it comes back, it'll look perfect.
Let's look at this. Let's just kind of look here at this video, right? Brady, tell me what you see. So that's better than yesterday, but there's still not much movement there. Right, and then just those arms. And to me, on the bad ones, the arms got even more like just kind of floppy behind him. Like I thought this was a good shot, and I thought that was better. I thought that was some of the most structure and the best. When it got longer and on the golf course, I saw that it got way more across the line and way more narrow at the top. What do you think?
Yeah, I think your good shot should be that slight draw.
Right. Why
think-
is it so closed? Why is it so closed at the top? Like, why is it facing?
Well, I mean,
I don't understand that.
Keep in mind too that where it is at the top isn't as important as where it is
Right.
coming down.
Right.
So you could spend a lot of time trying to make a perfect looking top of backswing position,
Right.
and then screw yourself up royally because your compensations coming down don't match that. So you can spend some time on it. Take your setup again. Let's look at the grip really quick.
But I hit everything like pretty freaking low.
Right.
Like, which is kind of annoying sometimes.
But I think
it hurt.
that I don't think to me the club is very shut going back until you stop, and then everything just kind of twists at the top.
Yeah.
Your arms running. I think you shut it because when you stop, everything goes like that across and shuts it.
Yeah.
I think if you turn a little more, and I'm not saying to just make your backswing pretty, but like I think if you got more structure and your arms just didn't go like that and twist the club at the top, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, there's two ways to get that face looking closed. One is to start with the grip really strong,
Okay.
and then have a pretty neutral left wrist at the top. And the other is to have a more neutral grip, and then have things like Tony said, twist at the top, which can make the face look close. Take your setup and just check the first piece of that puzzle.
So and one of the things I kind of struggle with is I feel like I'm trying to keep it open
Yeah.
to get some height.
Yeah.
So I don't have any of that anymore.
Right, you don't let go much.
Yeah, there's none of that.
Like a 7-iron carry distance for you.
Larry carried a good one, 1658.
Yeah.
That's what's still strong.
But it goes 170 because it's low.
Yes, it hits and doesn't stop anytime soon. And your left hand grip's pretty neutral on there. Your right hand's a little bit under it. I don't, like Tony said, I think your grip is good enough at this point to do what you want to do. It's more the structure at the top
Okay.
that would cause that. So, and the thing is, when you turn your hips better, which you're doing now, you can make the path more to the right, which if you don't adjust the top, you're going to have some that overdraw.
Yeah.
And so what Tony's saying, I think is true. Like if you're going to get your hips better, which I think would ultimately help you,
Right.
then the top needs to start to clean up a little bit too.
Are you good with that, cleaning up the top?
Yeah, I think if you slid your hips laterally and the thing gets shut and then you kind of steep it in transition, get under, it can all work a little bit, it can be good, but then it's not as good as you want it and it's low like you said.
And it's not consistent.
Well, here's the other thing, like fatigue certainly plays a role in it. So like the ones we saw out here yesterday were better. And then I remember I saw a few early in the round, they were better. And then I saw one on like 17 and it was 67 it was significantly worse, right? So I'm certain that as the fatigue sets in, he starts going even more this way, right? Because it's your old shit, right? So I think, you know, so set up. Go to the top and stop.
Yeah, that doesn't look like your normal top.
Right?
Oh.
It looks good.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So do that again. So I'd love to see you feel at the top this connection. I'd love to see. You want to feel that way? Just feel like you get it a little bit more just structured, right? Okay. Like, you know, I don't think that would hurt you to have some structure there. Just need a dew center.
That?
We're joking, man. Dew senders coming live.
Step to it again, go up to the top for me one more time. So I'm going to show you where you actually are.
Okay.
And then where Tony and I kind of think you should be. So take your setup again. Go up there and keep your eyes on the ball as you do it. Good, so believe it or not, this feels like where you are, right? Okay, I'm going to manipulate you. You ready?
Oh, really?
That's where it actually is.
Oh.
So now feel how your right hand is right
Yeah.
here. So take your hand off the club and keep your hand exactly there.
Yep.
Okay. Could you slap yourself in the face with this ball?
No.
You could hit me.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
In your normal one where you're showing us, it's much more like that. Like Tony said, it's wider, the club is lining up more parallel to the target line or even slightly laid off.
Okay.
And the face doesn't get twisted closed, right?
Okay.
So like if you look at the top here, where that thing is, that face looks pretty neutral, right?
Yeah.
Watch what happens to it. So it gets looking
Oh,
very
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that twist in the wrist.
Okay.
So at the top, you went up here and you said, okay, I want to feel like I can almost slap myself in
Nope,
the ear.
we're
with
coming
my
at
right
you.
hand. That would be better, right? So I'm here, and I can hit myself in the ear instead of having it twist and get across
Right.
and get narrow like that.
Huh.
And I think
And when you practice it, you never look like you do when you're hitting the normal shot.
Got it.
Only when you're hitting the shot does it get twisted like that,
Got it.
which is weird, right?
Right.
So to do something to you, I want you to set up, get ready to go, and then go to the top and stop up there. And I'm going to have you hit from a dead stop. So start over again, eyes on the ball as you go. Good, and go. Nice. Now where does it go?
In the ball?
1,000 yards,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Welcome to your reality of compensations that you would normally make.
Okay.
You know, usually on the downswing, like I said, your face may be close to the top, but it's not on the downswing.
Okay.
So you're usually getting the club lined up again on the downswing, sliding a little and getting it behind you, and that makes the ball go pretty good. But if you do the same stuff that you've always done coming down, and the face is now in a spot that's neutral, it's going to go right on you.
so. Come here and look at this.
You can't,
Come here and look. Come here and look at this.
differences between
So
those
there, here on the left is what Brady just had you do. There on the right is your old. You see the difference in the club in the left arm and the right arm and the club at the top. Also, you've actually wound up your body a little more doing it. I think when you go at that speed, it allows you to do it. You're cognizant of what's going on,
Start
right?
that down, Tony, where hands are at shoulder height on the downswing.
Okay, so here on the left, right, the old one.
So let's see where the shaft there is pointing. Like if you go back a couple more frames, so the hands are right, one more back. There. So if you extended the shaft down, drew a line down with that shaft, it's going to point inside the ball quite a bit on the right.
Okay.
Do the same thing on the left and get the hands at the same height. See where the shaft is pointing now. I mean, it's pointing much more at the ball.
Right. And our goal is to get that pointed out at the target line.
Because otherwise it'll, like the one on the right will always drop in behind you and it can get in there stuck. And then you're either hitting a block or a hook if the face was closed. But if the face is square, now it's just going to be dead right. We want the one on the left because then you don't have to manipulate it. As Tony's coming down a few more frames, Tony, on the right,
Okay.
you'll see the shaft just kind of falling behind on the right. This is the old one again. So the shaft is just going to fall in behind. See, how that
See,
shaft
and then
is
see,
down?
look at how it drops under the forearm, right?
Yeah.
And
So
then
that's
you
2 under.
Yeah, it starts to just the momentum of it going from steep to falling behind gets behind too
And then
much.
you lose your,
And then you watch the one on the left, and it's just not going to have that look. It's going to stay out in front of you much more. So that shaft's not
huge
sliding
difference
behind.
there, right?
The problem is, You said it. You said, I feel like I'm always holding on to the face to keep it open.
Yeah.
So you don't go left.
Right.
That will not work with a good club face and top of backswing. You'll actually need to let go.
Okay.
Which I think would be great for you and much
Yeah.
more free.
Yeah.
Because right now you're going closed to kind of open on the downswing
Right.
to keep the ball at the target. We'd rather you feel like you've got it lined up neutral and you can rip it
Yeah.
and not hook it.
Got it.
And that's where you want to change that top if you could.
I mean, I'd love to see you do more of those pause drills.
Yeah, I do
Right?
too.
I think they'd be good and learn to get it online. And I also don't think it would hurt you to put something behind that just like replicates the target line and where the ball's sitting. And go ahead and make your backswing that Brady just had you make. Go ahead and step in there and make it. All right, now start down slow and make that butt of the club come back down. Make it point down the target line. Okay, that's okay.
Trying to organize that's a challenge.
I didn't need that shin.
So go to the top again and stop. Good. So if you kind of close your eyes a little bit, can you visualize where your right palm is right now?
Yeah.
If you look at it, about where you thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shaft is going to feel like it's pointed 1,000 yards left. That's not a bad thing compared to your you normally twist it.
Okay.
So from this spot now, you're trying to get the club head back out in front of you.
Yep.
Because if you don't and you push this thing through, you're going to do what you just did, which is awesome.
Yep.
You know, so set up to that again. Get to that visual at the top, the feel of the right palm, good, and then go from there. Cool. But now you got to figure out how the heck am I going to get this thing not to go right?
Right.
That was pure coming down.
Yeah, same bizarre spot at the top where the right palm could smack in the air. No, that's the old one. So that got narrow and across. So you're gonna have to feel like, and this is, I'm so glad you did that, because at the top, if this runs on its own, it's gonna always twist and get closed and go across.
Okay.
You need to feel like your trunk and your arms and your hands finish more at the same time.
Okay.
So it's gonna feel much more together and then go, rather than having those extra frames.
Okay.
Because that's gonna be the thing that'll get you. So go super slow.
All right, yep. Show us where we're trying to be at the top.
Go. Great. Nice. Do that again. We'll do 2 more on the stop, and then we'll do 1 little adjustment and see if we can get you out of a stop. That was a little more across
Yep.
and close. So you've got to really kind of get up there, set it, feel, okay, where's my palm? I'm good, and go from there. Go. Nice, good work.
How good was that?
Yeah, that felt good.
And you're going to get more organized with the downswing as you go here. You know, you'll figure it out. I mean, you made the harder spot work. This one's actually a little bit easier. Slow again to the top, dead stop. Go. Great, real solid. Okay, so now here's your challenge on this next one. I want you to feel like you could have stopped, but you just decided not to.
Okay.
So it's so slow that you're, okay, I could here, I know where my palm is, but I'm going to go. It might even be a little hesitation,
Okay.
but it's not going to feel like a dead stop, and we're going to keep the club lined up in the right spot. So slow again, almost stopped. Good. That face got closed, and the club got a little more across. And all that's telling you is that that pattern is obviously very ingrained over time. You need to hit a lot of balls from a good spot at the top. The best way to fix it is don't screw it up again.
Right.
You know, so you just got to do it right over and over. So dead stop again, hold it for a beat or 2, fill your palm. That's pretty good. I want to put a little more stop on you on this one,
Okay.
so you're really aware of where that hand is. Go. Great.
I love that.
Yeah, that's much better. And we'll talk about height in a second here. Same thing at the top, good line.
I don't think I'm growing anymore.
Stop, go. Better, that's still twisted a little bit,
Okay.
so I want to see that right palm a little weirder still. I think Tony had the right word, which is twist.
Yeah.
Go up there and stop, dead stop, and I'll check it. Good, take a look at it. How's that palm?
I think it's all right.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Do it again. Go up there and stop, feel it, go. That's perfect right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now it can get longer than that, of course, but as it gets longer, it shouldn't get longer by just lifting your arms, bending them, and twisting them. You know, if it wants to get longer, a little more turn, like Tony was having to do.
Yeah.
get
Well,
those
the
hips
interesting
to
thing is, to me, is when Brady's getting you to go there, the only way to really get it there is to turn.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the twist is because you don't turn,
Yeah.
and you get to a point where you've gone as far as you can go, and just the momentum of the club in your arms, and probably the instinct that, like, oh shit, I got to get the club further back there to hit it
Right.
further, right? So you stop, and then you twist. Like those ones here, we'll look at one in a second. Like when Brady gets you perfect at the top, your hips so much deeper and your chest is so much turned. I think it's the only way to get there. So you know, Brady's what he's giving you there is helping you learn to turn more also.
Yeah, that was more old school. And if Tony did that, we get that one?
Yeah, of course we did. I'm a professional.
I know you are. I didn't mean to disrespect you. My fault. So watch where this last one ends up at the top.
See, it's lifted more, right? It lifts, and it gets a hair more twisted, right? Now watch this one. This one I thought was better. See, I think that's less cross. I think this was even better, right? That club's staying more on top of the forearm coming down. Keep going. Do it slow. I agree with Brady. I think the more good reps you would do would be great. Good slow reps.
Dead stop for a second. Go.
Attaboy.
Yeah, Dave.
Attaboy.
All right, now go full. Don't fail. Hey, that was better. That was better. Now got one more full. It's almost impossible to feel the right hand facing your ear too much here on these fulls. It's going to be hard. That was a lot better.
That was your best one at that speed.
Best full so far. How often are you looking at it on video? Never. So it might be something that you do now occasionally. You know, I would hate for you to be a guy who's sitting on the range looking at every swing. You don't need to do that. You know that if you stop, it's good.
Right.
Now you're just trying to find a way to translate that into a full speed swing, which is nobody said is going to be easy.
And he's such a field player that if you can see it on the video and feel it, then you can get it in that spot.
Yeah, the hard part is like like when you hit it full and you go, how was that?
Right.
How'd I do? You know it wasn't good.
Yeah.
You know, because you're doing something that is comfortable and you're not aware of it. But when you stop, you can tell it's different. And we're trying to make the ones that you're stopping on, like this next one, really perfect so you can get a feel for what that's like and then you can replicate it. Super slow again. Dead stop, right palm. I want you to stop on that. Let's do it again.
Still better. These are better.
I feel like it's like right here. That's what it feels like.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Feeling real, baby.
Dead stop again at the top. I'll tell you when to go. Go. Nice.
I
Oh, you
think
want to get the camera? Check this out. You want to film that thing?
yeah, oh yeah. Come on.
Check this out.
Oh yeah. Brady's doing his shit right here. Come on over here.
So this one was the best one you hit full speed.
Okay.
This is the best it looked full speed. This is the stop. You can see the difference on those two.
Yeah.
Right, 3 different. So as this thing comes down on the right, see how steep it is. You know, it's coming down and it's pointing significantly more inside the ball in that frame. This thing is lined up better, and so even though it's not as long, see how the face looks different too? And like Tony said, the club is coming down much more in front of you.
Yeah, and on top of that arm, and you're not having to manipulate it as much going through.
And that club face looks spectacular. See how this club on the old one is falling behind more,
Yeah. Way
right?
Yeah.
So it's significantly more inside on the old one, and that was the best one we saw.
Yeah.
There were a lot more where
There
that
were
club
way
was more
worse,
behind
right?
your butt than that.
And that's what happens on the golf course, right? That one on the golf course, just it gets more across, more under. And don't you think, Brady, as he gets more fatigued,
Sure.
it gets worse?
Yeah, and you can see there's a different universe to play from in these two swings, right? So
Yeah.
the one on the right, it's attacking very much from the inside. The face is a little bit more closed. You can see how in to out that is. Well, that one worked. You held it off the perfect amount.
Okay.
But like Tony said, you get tired, that thing's going to hook on
Take
you.
it back to the top real quick, if you don't mind. Look how much more hip turn that is versus yesterday where we started.
Right.
Right? And even if we go over here to this one, if I pull the original one up and you look at this one here, so that's right. I mean, look how much more turn there is in the one you had versus that.
Yeah.
And that's already a shitload better than where we started yesterday.
Last thing on this is where that club head is now before impact on the new one on the left.
Okay.
See how it's sitting in behind the ball better.
Yeah.
This one's well inside, and you'll see how the body on the right is kind of stuck. And this thing, the club's able to kind of start to get past you. You're going to miss hit these and tow them and do all kinds of stuff with the contact because you're hitting it from a dead stop.
But your body's starting to work around more too, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. So the club exit is a little bit lower, which we want on these because we're trying to get you out of that way into out path that you had before. But I think your feel's really good. But the second you turn up speed or you take time away from the top where you're kind of it starts to get faster, it wants to twist. And I guarantee you on the golf course today, it's going to twist.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to earn it.
Got
And
it.
you got to earn it with great reps.
When you practice, I think you've got to do a bunch with I love using a line or something to
Me
mark the target line to be aware and doing those slow pauses. And I also think that just the more you can do things, like if you can stand in there on those sticks and you can do that and you can go at a speed where you can learn to hit it solid. So like if you got in here, and a great practice for you would be if you got in there and you just went slow, paused, and you just did that till you could find it solid, that sucked. It's because they're not Strixons.
That's it.
Strixons.
Your body
Right?
just repulses them.
But yeah, goes into heaves, right? But if you got where you could go up and you got it right where Brady wants you, and you could just find it solid and start it down the line. Then once you do that, then add the speed to it.
Okay.
Learn to do it, then add speed. I think that would help you.
Okay.
Couple more. Stop for Brady where he wants you.
Go. Awesome.
Awesome.
Really, really good.
And I think you do that and then you add speed.
I totally agree. Couldn't agree more. That's the old.
So when you're doing the stop again, go up there one more time. Then start over again from zero. Go to the top and stop. Good. So take that right hand off. Keep it. Put it back up there again. Good. So take it off and just put it right next to the club. Good. So now as this goes further up, it should be here. If it's going any further, it should be there. You never want it to get like that.
Okay.
If you can't kind of give yourself a crack in the ear at the top,
Yep.
then you know you're getting twisted on.
Okay.
And it's, what's funny is that all the rage is to try and get a lot of flexion at the wrist. I mean, look at, there's Rom and Mark Allen, DJ, and the list goes on and on. That's great if you're going to be really able to rotate through impact. Get your body rotated at a time to keep the face from releasing, but it's not you.
Right.
Or me.
Right.
We'd rather you play from more neutral. And then that way you can start to get the club to go a little bit at the bottom.
Especially across the line.
Yeah, the cross line's real fun. But if you can get if you can get the club lined up, now you can actually get the club head to kick at the bottom and that would add a ton of loft for you. Okay. But right now you're coming in way inside and shut and then kind of holding on to the face because you don't want it to hook, and that's not going to give you any elevation. Right.
Two more. Then we'll go take care of Jim.
Jim's probably in a puddle out there. That was good.
How much different is that ball flight? You see the difference in the launch?
Yeah.
you're almost stopping on these, but you're not going. But you're going to feel like you could have, and that right hand is your awareness up there. That was really good again. Even though you pulled it a hair, I really like that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That was more off the center.
Wow.
One more.
Nice.
I'm not swinging very hard at it.
You're not
Yeah.
allowed to. Right?
Yeah.
You're
But
on
it's good there.
swing probation.
Yeah.
All right, good.